One Night with Steiny.
One Night with Steiny. Shout out Tulsa and Nelk. This is just about me being myself. Gonna be chaotic. I can't guarantee anything. All I can guarantee is that you're gonna be entertained. How can I join OVO?
You can keep DMing Drake or keep paying.
By the way, I like OVO.
How do you know that I do that?
I know you DM Drake all the time. I know.
How do you know that?
You paid me $3,000 on Venmo one time to text him for you.
Dude.
One Night with Steiny.
One Night with Steiny, baby. Let's go.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
12 o'clock, three-man front here on this Tuesday. World Cup action getting started right now in Dallas. You got the Ivory Coast taking on Norway. Of course, United States taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina coming up tomorrow night from Santa Clara. Had World Cup action yesterday. Germany eliminated in an upset, and then you had thrilling soccer if you stayed up late for it last night as Morocco wins on penalty kicks, which I learned a little bit about the penalty kick. I had to brush up on my penalty kick and strategy. I did see where somebody compared the corner kick in soccer to basically the overtime rules in college football, where you have placement of ball inside the opponent's.
Oh, I got you. I
thought that was a pretty good comparison.
Okay.
I need more of those side by side, football versus
It helps.
football.
It helps.
Barrett Sallee, we're going to talk baseball with Barrett. He is pregame host for Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Barrett, how are you today? Hopefully you are doing better than I was this past month with my Braves.
I'm good. A nice day off, and hopefully that works wonders for a Braves offense that has been it's been frustrating to watch, and, you know, we keep waiting for something to change. Hopefully a day off helps.
What is your – I know that we have bumps, and I have people who tell me here on the show after the Braves get off the great start, you know, it's a bump. It's a bump. I realize that the Braves are better than this, Barrett, but what are some of the things leading to this? Did you just chalk it up to baseball, bad luck, or is there something else going on?
It is in part baseball, but I think this team has – and it's not just this year. It was last year after the 0-7 start. It was really in the playoffs against the Padres 2 years ago. When they start pressing, they can't get out of that rut. It takes a long time for them to get out of that rut. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of one person, if it's just because of the culture, I don't know what it is. But it does feel like anytime they start pressing, everybody gets infected with that. And I think that's what's been going on for the last, 3-4 weeks, because it's not like their attitude has changed. Their attitude is just like it was before the season. They're all joking around. They're having a good old time. The clubhouse is healthy. And it's just it's like when the game starts, the switch gets flipped, and the pressure that, you know, we all kind of put on them from the outside as fans, it seems like it affects them. And honestly, I don't know why. And it's something that has been present for, 2.5 years now.
So I wanted to ask you specifically about what you've seen or what you've heard maybe with Drake Baldwin, because we know he had the oblique issue back in May, and then he returns. And if correct me if I'm wrong, but he hasn't gotten a hit in about 2 weeks now. And just really, really struggling at the plate. So we know he's an integral part of that offense. And still, statistically putting together a nice season. But what have you seen from him over the last couple of weeks? Is maybe something nagging him from that injury, or is this just a slump for Drake Baldwin, you think?
He has not said anything about something nagging him from the injury. But his timing is off. His timing is clearly off because his swing hasn't changed. I think that's what's so surprising about it is that his bat stays in the zone for so long and the swing plane has been so consistent. And you look at some of these advanced metrics and you look at some of the charts that, you can put up, and the swing plane's the same. The time in the zone is the same. So he's not doing anything different. He's just missing them. His timing's off. And I don't think he would ever say that is the injury, and it might not be. It might just be that he hasn't fully, gotten to a point where he can mentally trust himself. But all indications, like, you can look at all these advanced stats and technology, and everything looks the same. So it is simply a fact that his timing is off. And, I think for all of the Braves, this is the one guy where I would think that would never go through a slump like this because of the way he operates, because of how he approaches at-bats. And, I think it's probably shocking him a little bit because he hasn't had to go through this. Even last year when the book got out on him for a little bit, it was a 4-game stretch, maybe 5-game stretch. And then, he adjusted and, things got better. But it's a timing thing, and I think it's frustrating for him. You can kind of see that, it's not that his attitude's changed. It almost looks like he's just confused as to how this could possibly be happening, which is, I think, the same for all of us as well.
The same question I have for you, Barrett, different player, Austin Riley. Is it the longer hair this year? Is it fatherhood? Is it too much golf? What's going on?
There's no such thing as too much golf.
No, I agree. And that was terrible of me to say.
Maybe Hugh Freeze disagrees, but that's just a different story.
Yeah.
I think Austin, talk about pressing. He has been one of those guys, and that's been for a while now. You can see when he's pressing, he puts too much pressure on himself. And it's like what he's working on in the batting cage and in batting practice isn't translating, because in batting practice, and I've sat there and watched him behind the cage. I've sat here and watched him for 3 weeks, 4 weeks now when they've been at home. He has consistently gone the other way. There are batting practice sessions where he doesn't hit a ball to the left of second base. And that's how you get out of a slump, right? Any coach will tell you, how do you get out of a slump? Up the middle, go the other way. Up the middle, go the other way. He's doing it. He 100% is doing it. And then the game comes around, and he's pulling off of everything. Like everything. A slider away, he's still trying to pull. And I think it's a matter of taking what he's working on in the cage and he's not implementing it in actual games. And it might be something as simple as what he does off, 70-mile-an-hour batting practice pitches. He just can't fully wrap his head around how to do that when you get a, 89-mile-an-hour slider or a 100-mile-an-hour, fastball from Mizorowski. But I'll tell you, he has done the work. The work has been done. It's just not translating to game situations.
Barrett Sallee of the Braves Radio Network. You can hear him right here on Jock's pre- and post-game coverage there for the Atlanta Braves. Appreciate him joining us here on this Tuesday. So, Barrett, take us inside this series coming up with the Cardinals. I hate that Pat is not here today to heavily criticize the starting pitcher that the Braves are going to see tonight on the other side there. But Liberatore, he's got an ERA north of 5.5, so you would have to think this would be a great opportunity for the Braves to get back on track, offensively speaking. But what are your kind of expectations for this series kicking off tonight now?
Well, does he hate Liberatore as much as he hates Miles Michaelis? Because that seems unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't.
No, he doesn't hate anybody as much as Michaelis. No. That's a special kind of hatred.
Yeah, Michaelis and TJ Finley. Yep, those two.
That's good. Yeah, it's a chance for them, but there have been pitchers that they should just absolutely dominate that they haven't been able to dominate. So. I think getting back home might help, kind of getting over that road trip and, out west and getting a day off after that. And, that might help. But theoretically, look, there's a lot of Braves that have had success against him. Not a lot have had a lot of experience against him, but those that have had experience against him have had success. So, yes, in theory, but I'm at a point now with the Braves where it's not even who's on the mound. Like, I don't even really know. Like, it doesn't really matter who's opposing them on the mound. It's what do they look like in the mirror? Like, how do they view themselves? And it's not a good spot right now. But yes, in theory, they should absolutely get fat and get healthy against this guy. But that's not how the game is played, and it's certainly not how the Braves have been playing it lately.
Now that we've gone through the month of June after the Braves were playing just masterful baseball, and it was beautiful to watch, do you have more concerns? Are the concerns that you had prior to the season, are they the same? Have they been alleviated? Where are you right now in this Braves club as far as length of the season and postseason? We still feeling good or more concerns?
I'm not feeling good. I still think they'll make the postseason. I mean, anytime you have 49 wins banked before the halfway mark, you're doing all right. And I'm not the biggest pace guy, but they were on pace for 98 wins even after, this month. So, yeah, I think the starting pitching is concerned. Martin Perez has been awesome.
Yeah. I
mean, I absolutely love Martin Perez, but do you trust him in a playoff situation to follow Chris Sale? I'd like to say yes, but
are they going to make a move there? Starting rotation?
Yeah, I think they will. And I think, we've talked about this when I talked to you guys. Walt has been very aggressive with his bullpen, right? And he's done a lot of piggybacking. And we said on the show that, okay, great, that's working, but how long is it going to work? And the answer is kind of we're finding out. It's not now. So they need to get Waldrop back 100% or at least stretched out. They need to get Ronaldo Lopez stretched out. Smith-Shawver's pitching today in Augusta. They need to get him. They need to get more of a traditional rotation rather than having, 3 separate spots be for 5 different guys. You can't live like that, even though they did live like that for a little while.
So I feel like you get asked this every time we have you on, Barrett, but as we get closer and closer to that point of the season, what are your thoughts, trade deadline? How active are you expecting the Atlanta Braves to be? I'm not going to ask you about Scooble again, but if you've heard anything on that front, we would love for you to share it. But just your thoughts, what the philosophy is going to be from the front office as we get closer to the deadline.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to make some moves. Alex is a wheeler and dealer, and I think you heard him on Braves Vision, the pregame show, 2 days ago. That he likes to be aggressive. He wants to evaluate his team, and I certainly think now it's a priority to get a starting pitcher. The problem is it's a priority for everybody to get a starting pitcher, right? And on top of that, everybody's sort of in the mix for a playoff spot, save for 3 or 4 teams. So if Sandy Alcantara was going to be a trade piece, well, that's not going to happen because the Marlins are in the mix now. So they're going to definitely be aggressive. I do wonder, and we talked about this on the podcast this morning, actually, what happens with, if the Braves farm system is healthier, which it is. I mean, guys like Eric Hartman and Tate Southesine are just killing it because there are more attractive pieces in the minors maybe than we expected. Do the Braves make a move early and perhaps, maybe sacrifice a little bit of the hope for the future with, a team that can make a deal now and maybe make it mutually beneficial? That might be the way to go because that will be how some people do it. That will be how some teams approach this trade deadline and say, okay, let's overpay in mid-July rather than, go ahead and – sorry about that. Go ahead and, wait until August 3rd, I guess is the trade deadline. So, yeah, I think there will be. It's just a matter of, this team and the organization deciding how aggressive they want to be.
I gotta ask you before I let you go, Barrett. Ha-Seong Kim, does he speak English? And if so, do his teammates talk to him?
He does speak enough English.
He's so
There's
bad.
a translator in there at all times. He understands English and he does speak it a little bit. But yeah, the teammates do talk to him. But it's, he got 4 straight starts these last 4 games, and that's on purpose. This has gone, I think, too far, or as far as it can possibly go. So I think before they made a rash, they didn't want to make a rash decision and say, okay, well, you're getting 4 at-bats a week. That means you can't do it anymore. They, I think, decided, hey, you're going to get 4 full games where you get full game at-bats. Let's see if you can, get out of this funk. And the answer is clearly no.
$20 million 1-year deal I know you know the stats. I'm saying it for our listeners. 5 hits and 73 at bats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
That
it's
is
not good.
.068 is your batting.
So that's $4 million per hit. That's great.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had a question. Like my buddies and I have like a big check shame. If you had 100 plate appearances, could you bunt your way to a better batting average?
I think you could. Yeah.
No, I'm
you
saying
could.
you specifically.
No, I think I could. No, I think that's my best bet is, putting the bat in the zone and trying to lay one down the third base line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
But the problem with that is the infield's playing in anyways. I'm at the plate. So.
Well, yeah.
Would I be better? No, bunt's probably the way. I feel like I could bunt for a higher average than Ha-Seong Kim is what he's doing right now. That's embarrassing.
It's frustrating, but I would be floored if he's in the starting lineup today, just because giving him 4 straight days I think is on purpose, and I know fans were frustrated with that, and I was totally fine with it because this is something that he has to get out of, or he's not going to play, and you want to give him a shot every day to see if he can get out of it, and he didn't, and he hasn't. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be talking about him as a starter or a contributor at all much longer. And again, part of this too, you can read between some lines. Kyle Farmer is on a rehab assignment, and he's getting reacquainted with the catcher position. Well, what does that have to do with Ha-Seong Kim? Well, it makes Kyle Farmer a key part of the plan for this team as an emergency catcher, and he's also an infielder. So if he can do both of those things, then he'll be on the roster as an emergency catcher and an infielder. Well, who's got to go? The guy who can't play anywhere else.
Yep. That's right. Let's get a series win over the Cardinals. Get things back on track before the All-Star break. Barrett Sallee.
I will do all that I can.
I know you always do. I always count on you. You're solid with the pre, the post, and rain delays. Radio host there, 680 The Fan in Atlanta. Also radio host of the Atlanta Braves. You can hear them all season long here on Jocks. Barrett was, appreciate the time. Have a great week. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. Have a wonderful 4th of July, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, y'all too.
Barrett Sallee, Braves Radio Network on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services. Update you on the Jocks text line, 205-834-9450.
I was just going to share this because it'll make you feel better.
Is Ha-Seong Kim, is he?
No. It has nothing to do with the Braves. But as bad as because the Braves offensively has been rough lately, right?
Dreadful.
So my team, the Yankees, we're on a 5-game losing streak right now. I saw this stat earlier, and I was just waiting to pull it out. So the Yankees have now become the first team in the history of the American League over a 4-game stretch, 35 or more strikeouts, and a batting average under 100 as a team. So it could be worse.
It could always be worse. Whether it's there was a time in my life where I looked and I said, well, at least I'm not Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
At least I'm not Britney Spears. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes.
But at one point in your life, you're like, golly, I wish I was Antonio Brown. I wish I was Britney Spears. Yeah.
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Can't even begin to fathom. Mm-mm.
Hey, we're both going to be all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
It's going to iron out.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
It'll be fine.
It's so frustrating to watch right now.
It is. Well, and especially when, no one's going to have sympathy for either of our fan bases or either of the teams that we root for, right? But when right, you've seen the proof this season of how good they are or can be, and then when they go from that to literally being the worst you can imagine, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, and something that Barrett said, and he watches his team, he's there for batting practice, he's around the team, he's in the clubhouse, and there's stuff that he can't even share with us, but I do know for a fact that he's got his finger on the pulse, and if he says these guys, they press too much, and they struggle when they press too much, it sounds like me and my golf game, and that is not good if you're a Braves fan. Me and my best playing golf is playing loose and carefree.
Yep. Got to play loose.
Yep. So hopefully the Braves, they can get it done. You can hear them all season long right here on Jocks. We'll continue. Get to the text line, 205-834-9450. A lot of interesting texts. We appreciate it. Three-man front as we continue on this Tuesday. 12:23, three-man front here on this Tuesday. Landrum and Conrad. The point I was going to make, and my mind went blank, was I used to, when I wanted to feel better about myself, I'd say, well, at least I'm not Antonio Brown or Britney Spears. Now, when I want to feel better about my Braves, I just watch the New York Mets. The Mets lose in Toronto yesterday 2-1, and Juan Soto, who I know that you're happy, he is gone from the Yankees and have been. But, wow, it continues. The fielding has not been good for the Mets. I think they're third from last in Major League Baseball in overall fielding, but you had George Springer that hits a line drive to left field, and it just bounces past Juan Soto and rolls to the wall, and then you get a rookie in A.J. Ewing that runs over, picks up the ball to throw it. The ball comes out of his hand, and it's an inside the park, Little League style home run for George Springer.
Yeah, and to make it worse, as you mentioned, that was kind of a deciding factor in the outcome of the game when it's a 2-1 ball game. So, oh man, you hate to see it.
Yes, you do.
You really hate to see it.
Mandu, that's one thing that you're going to love to see if you are looking to feel better about yourself, look better, maybe fit better in your clothes. It's summertime. You're wearing less clothes. You want to feel good about it. Well, Mandu, they can do it. Electrical muscle stimulation, fitness. I've done Mandu, Damian Mitchell. So many Jocks listeners have tried Mandu, and most of them sign up and they stick with it. And if you stick with it, you're going to get results. It's electrical muscle stimulation fitness, all FDA approved. It doesn't hurt, but what's unique and revolutionary about this approach, it's a 15-minute workout. That's the equivalent to 6 hours in the gym. I know, it's crazy, right? Put it on a suit, electric pulses, different muscle groups. You want to go total body, you can do that. Maybe you just want to work on your calves. Maybe your glutes. Maybe you want to work on chest, shoulders, arms. You can spot train. You can do the whole thing, whether you're training for a marathon or just trying to look, feel better. You can do it at Mandu. Paul is the owner. He's got an excellent training staff. First visit's free. They'll put you through the workout. You decide if Mandu is right for you. MANDUU.com. That's MANDUU.com. Mandu in downtown Homewood. Tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Three Man Front and Jocks sent you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, the text line was open, 205-834-9450.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Was it?
You're reading my mind.
Well, on the Britney Spears and Antonio Brown?
I figured that one might get a reaction from somebody.
Britney Spears and Antonio Brown, they may have a lot of money, but there is great value in living a quiet life with no drama. Amen. I'm all about no drama.
I agree with that. I do wonder, I'm sure Britney Spears is fine. I do wonder a little bit on the financials for Antonio Brown, though. What are we looking at with him?
Yeah, I kind of wonder on Britney, too.
Yeah, but she had the conservatorship, right? So, a lot of that money was probably locked away, secure, I would think, right?
Did Wemby send her a autographed jersey?
I forgot about that. Because he didn't know who she was, right? Wasn't that the
Yeah, he was walking
situation?
through the hotel lobby. She was at a table, and she said, "Oh, my gosh," and went crazy and, ran up to him, and security detail, which I don't think they knew who she was at the time.
Correct, yeah.
I don't know what state Brittany was in at the time, but she ran up, and she wanted to get close, and I think she got knocked to the ground.
See, wouldn't it just, the only thing that could have been funnier than the way that it played out is if he'd gone, oh, yeah, you're the lady that dances with the knives on social media. And, that's what he knew Britney Spears as, not one of the biggest pop stars in the world. But
Doug is sending in a very well-written and thought-out story behind Ben Franklin. And one of the questions that came up yesterday.
Yeah, it was the rattlesnake question, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have the bald eagle, what was the other animal that was recommended? Okay, so
I originally thought it was the wild turkey, but that was a joke or a tongue-in-cheek, right?
Okay, thank you. Well, that's what I was about to say. Is I was gonna preface it by saying if I had gotten that question, I would have guessed turkey, not rattlesnake, because I thought that at one point they wanted the turkey to be.
I mean, we pardon one every year.
Yeah, but okay, so that was a joke though, or that was a tongue-in-cheek recommendation.
Yeah, it might. I think the comparison was the bald eagle to the turkey.
Gotcha. See, well, that I was going to be honest. Like, I wouldn't have gotten that one right. Hastings got it right, but yeah, I thought Turkey was.
I can't
legitimate.
see anything other than the bald eagle.
No, it's just one of those things now that we're so used to it. I mean, after 250 years, you can't really change something like that.
If it wasn't a bald eagle, and I don't, what would it be? I'm sorry, I'm going to go cliche Super Bowl commercial, but I think it'd be a Clydesdale.
Clydesdale's good. Yeah. See, I was going to go like golden retriever or something, but like the bald eagle is more fierce and.
Yeah, I
Like,
love a golden retriever in the lab, but I feel like golden retriever, that's probably more Sweden.
Fair, okay. That's fair.
Or Norway. No score, by the way. Dylan from Jasper, could you see a UNLV team as one of the G6 teams getting into the playoff? Conrad, you gave us your comprehensive outlook of teams in the conversation, teams that would be top tier. No big surprise. UNLV, Dan Mullen is the coach.
Yeah, I think
Jackson Arnold is the quarterback.
And that's where I'm not trying to be ugly, but like, I mean, I personally, and I know that we're talking about a step down in competition from what he had to deal with at Oklahoma and Auburn, but I mean, there's just some guys that when you watch them, you're like, I feel like we kind of know what you are, and I don't need to see Jackson Arnold play more football. Like, I just know he's not very good at quarterback. That's my personal opinion on it. So that would be my big reservation for UNLV.
He was good against Baylor and just running.
He was. And he was pretty good. Was it maybe the last? I'm trying to remember if it was the last bowl game that he played at Oklahoma where he had a couple of or no, maybe it was his freshman year he played in the bowl game and he put up some pretty big numbers, but he did throw a couple interceptions. And you're like, okay, I could see where the potential is in that. And then that was kind of the last time that we really saw that. But just again, I'm not the biggest expert in the world, but his ability to read defenses, decision making, not very good. That's a problem.
Byron Brown might lay an egg, but Auburn is in far greater shape heading into the season with Byron Brown as their quarterback.
50% of Byron Brown's better than Jackson.
I don't care what happens.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, yeah, I mean, and just quickly, I mean, if you look at their schedule, like they play Memphis early on, they play Hawaii, they play New Mexico, like some of these teams that are also in that conversation for, you know, the better teams in the group of six. So if you win those games, then maybe, but no. Hard for me to believe in Jackson Arnold right now.
Conrad Van Chaos chimes in. He says, how sad that the Lakers don't want LeBron. Some goat. I agree totally.
I think the writing was on the wall with the Luka trade and them signing Austin Reeves to like a $40 million a year contract that they were ready to move on, and I think LeBron was ready to move on. It is funny, though, because his son, Bronny, his contract became fully guaranteed yesterday.
Mm.
So he held on just long enough to help out his son and get him another year.
That's a good dad, but if it's in my team's detriment, I call it selfish.
Well, and yeah, I don't know.
This one reads, Good show today. Y'all stay cool. It's a scorcher here in Middle Tennessee. That's Darren.
Yeah, I think we're under a heat advisory until tomorrow night. It's hot. Feels like over 100.
Don chimes in. Hello, guys. Unbelievable job by everyone yesterday. Thanks for including me. Shout out to FSU Dave, doing a great job. Yes, he did. As the referee. Also, Sweet Mary, Larry, and Gringo for the decoration. Great crowd of new listeners that came. Conrad, I was proud of you. You put up a great fight, and even though basically you got beat by 4 touchdowns, I didn't switch teams. I stood behind my team. WDE, baby.
And I do appreciate that. I think Hastings had the best representation yesterday. Hastings was Indiana, and I was Alabama in the Rose Bowl. And that's just, unfortunately, had to relive that a little bit yesterday.
Was any particular answer you regretted the most yesterday?
I probably just shouldn't have said the Gettysburg one at all.
Yeah, I figured that was the one.
Should have passed that one.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even
No, that was Desperation Heave.
It was.
You hit one, Desperation Heave.
I was about to say, I was feeling kind of good after the Jaws one of like, maybe I'll just throw something up there and it'll work, but I should have just known to quit while I was ahead on that one.
Reba and Howie, we heard from them. They're in New York, and then they're going to jump on a cruise ship and go cruising somewhere. But they have sent us a picture today from the Statue of Liberty, and they're listening to the show. Hello, Reba and Howie.
Very nice. Yeah, I know they were at the Yankees game last night that was good for Molly's team and bad for my team. So I hope they had a good time.
Yep. Love the text. Keep them firing in, and we will continue to read them. A lot of college football conversation concerning some of the power and non-power 6 outlooks for the season. Get your thoughts, and we'll discuss some more when it comes to college football, the game we love so much, on a Tuesday. It's three-man front, Landrum and Conrad. Glad you're with us on Jocks. Three-man front, we continue on this Tuesday. No score between the Ivory Coast and Norway. Conrad is pulling for the Ivory Coast, not because he's from there, not because he's ever been there, but he appreciates the Miami Hurricane / FAMU-like color scheme and pattern of the Ivory Coast.
See, and okay, so I know you're not like me and orange isn't your favorite color.
It's not my favorite. I don't dislike it.
I love those kits. I like those more than the ones that you got from the Netherlands last night, which were like maybe a bolder orange. Like those weren't bad, but those are nice.
The orange those uniforms, nice. And I know that there's significance for them having this. The Netherlands, I don't think of the Netherlands. I don't think of orange. I think of red, white, and blue. Same as I do with Norway.
I'm going to be completely honest. When I turned the match on last night, my first thought was orange is Morocco. And I don't know why. But I was just like, that seems like that their jerseys would be orange.
And can we go back to the penalty kick? The guy you select the 5 guys that you have with the penalty kick. Are those pre-selected? Do you select them right before the penalty kick staging takes place? Because I would not have had the guy that was concussed and looked like he did not know where he was.
Yeah,
you saw the results of the kick.
The one that went wide left,
yeah.
Like really wide left. Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate, and you could just tell, I mean, the second that it left his foot, that just the immediate despair on his face. But as bad as that was, and maybe that one's worse because, that was like just a really bad kick on that guy's part. But the Netherlands goalie who saves the kick and then it rolls off of his heel into the goal and it counts.
He doesn't know the ball is right behind his heel after he has saved the ball.
Correct. And it rolls behind him and he kicks his leg when he's getting up, I guess, and it goes in, it counts. Yeah, I felt really bad for that guy. Like that's absolute
that last
devastation.
Night was the worst way for me as a fan to get beat. That's it.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, I guess it's technically the goalie's fault, but it's nobody's fault. Like I don't know. Maybe that happens more often than we would expect in international soccer, but I've certainly never seen that before.
Me as a fan, I'm already saying going into that period, we have done everything we can to lose this game, or we've had our opportunities. If we lose, that's on us.
Yeah, and that, as football fans, I feel like right with your team, like there's just certain things that happen sometimes in a game and you go, doesn't feel like we're meant to win this one. Like when that happened last night, if you're the Netherlands, you're probably like, it kind of just feels like this isn't meant to be. It's like a destiny thing, unfortunately. That was rough.
It was rough. It was really entertaining because I didn't have a rooting interest.
Correct.
And it was entertaining
but
to
brutal
me.
For that guy.
Yeah, it certainly was. 800-239-WJOX. It's got our friend Don Don. Hey, Don Don, what's up?
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Fantastic day yesterday, Landrum. Y'all did an outstanding job, but a great event.
Well, we appreciate you and so many that helped out and putting it together.
Okay. Well, I got a little thing for y'all to keep up with tomorrow night.
Okay.
Conrad, you might want to be interested in this. It's kind of like a mini signing day announcement that Rivals and On 3 is doing. It's like about a 4-hour show comes on at 11 on YouTube, and there's 3 announcements with Auburn involved, and I think Landon we're only going to get the kid from Spain Park. It looks like, but I'm kind of led to believe there might be a couple of Alabama announcements in this too.
You talking about Marquise Evans, the edge, the 6'5", 235?
Yes, sir. And you should know about this kid when you cover Spain Park.
Well, Don, he did not play for us last season, I don't believe.
Oh, okay. Is he transferring in this year?
That's what his bio says.
Okay. Well, supposedly Landrum, he's grown up. Was the edge prospect. I don't know if Jay Lee talked about this. By the way, thank you for having him. Great interview. And I just sent a message on the corner board telling Jay Lee he needs to come up and surprise us on at Social Taco one Tuesday if he's ever in town.
Yes.
I've been talking to him about this for a couple of months on their Sunday night show. Everything, and I know you guys we're lucky to have the guys from Alabama come up every now and then, but it'd be great to try to get either Jay Lee or Cole Pinkston up there on Tuesday.
We would love to have him, and Jay Lee knows that the invitation, Cole, as well. Is there any time?
Always.
Yep. I've known Jay Lee for a long time. Good dude.
Yeah, I think Landrum, he's been covering Auburn for how long now? About 25 years.
Yep. Pretty close to it.
And I know he used to be with Rivals and everything, but they do a great job on the Sunday night show. And I do talk about y'all all the time on the corner. It's called their message board is called the Corner. But Conrad, who do you know anything about the guys for Alabama tomorrow?
Give me 1 second, Don.
You caught him during a bite.
Sorry, I was chewing.
No,
you're good. You're good. So I understand that there's a kid. He's a defensive back. I think he's going to Oregon. I believe he's making his announcement tomorrow, but it's Alabama, Oregon, and I can't remember who the third school is that he's deciding between, but I believe Oregon is where he's ultimately headed. I don't think, is Sales committing tomorrow? He's early July if it's not tomorrow, in terms of some of the bigger names for Alabama. But, I mean, we've only got room, Don, for like 2 or 3 more kids. We can't be getting too many commits.
What y'all got now? What are y'all up to now? 12 or 13 commitments?
I believe it's 13. It's more than 12. It's either 13 or 14.
According to your good old Rodney Orr, what are y'all supposed to get? Like 2 or 3 more, maybe 15, 16?
What I was told earlier on in the spring was between 12 and 15 was going to be kind of the.
It depends on how many of Alabama's or of Auburn's they get back.
That's right.
Well, according to Landrum, according to Alabama, you say ain't got no money for nobody.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
They got to. According to y'all got to retain the 48 people that you have, and
they know where the money is. They just got to go dig it up.
We're doing a charity car wash coming up in a couple weeks. We're hoping that'll replenish the stock a little bit there.
Well, Conrad, maybe you can get our buddy that came yesterday. Maybe he can donate some money to Alabama.
Oh yeah, he did a great job. Sharing some money for the Wounded Warriors Foundation. So yeah, we'll take the money there.
I got a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. Hopefully he'll be back. And want to shout out. By the way, Landon, did our buddy Chris give you a hard drive on his book?
He did. Yes.
Okay.
We got those.
And everything, and I got one too, and I think he's got one for Legend too, and everything. But man, shout out to Chris. What a great guy, man. But Landon, I'll tell you what made my day, and Conrad too. Seeing PG yesterday, that made my day, man.
Yeah, PG's our buddy, and PG's been under the weather for quite some time, so keeping him in our thoughts and prayers daily.
Okay, well, anyway, guys, thank y'all very much, and talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, Don. Don's Recruiting Wrap, brought to you by Don's PartyPlanning.com.
He broke it.
He did. Dave tells us that the reason that the Netherlands wear the orange jerseys, their monarchy was the House of Orange, so that's why they wear the orange. They've flown an orange double-decker bus from the Netherlands and had it in Mexico for the matches there.
Okay, well, I'm interested in the origin of the House of Orange, where that.
The House of Orange?
Yeah, was that their last name, I guess?
Orange is the New Black?
Yes, I did. I watched part of it.
Yeah.
It was funny at first. The guy was kind of annoying, though. He was. The boyfriend guy, he was annoying. Some of the inmates were funny, though.
What's that guy doing in here? Get out of here!
Well, no, the one that, the boyfriend of the chick that goes in jail and then all the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they made 2 episodes.
I made it through the first season, and it was,
Got a little different.
It's a little different. Had some moments. It's a little different.
Yeah, that's right. Toughest schedules in the SEC. Is your team one of the 5 that were listed? I'll tell you who they are, where they rank next on Three Man Front. Maybe a couple are still there when it comes to the conference's toughest slates for 2026 in this upcoming season, but some newcomers that have experienced maybe, and this is all cyclical. You don't dictate your schedule in the SEC. You have natural rivalries that are built in, Conrad, and then you have the cycle system that we're in its infancy now that we've added Oklahoma and Texas. But as it shapes up right now, prior to the start of the season, we do have a ranking of the SEC's 5 toughest schedules for the 2026 season.
Yes, we do. And this comes courtesy of Chris Lowe, who is very familiar with the Southeastern Conference, does a great job covering college football. And one of them is a team here in the state of Alabama, and we will get to that momentarily. But we can start at the top here and who he has as the most difficult schedule in the 2026 season in the SEC. And this is a nice reversal of fortune, Landrum, because we talked about when Texas joined the conference, it felt like they got the red carpet rolled out for them, right? Like they didn't have the most intimidating, the most difficult schedule, like kind of easing them into things here in the conference. Well, that's all going to change this year because according to Chris Lowe, Texas has the most difficult schedule in the conference, and I think it's safe to say that that would translate to probably the most difficult schedule in the entire country for the upcoming season. So you have to keep in mind that in addition to what they're going to face in conference, they also play Ohio State week 2 of the season. So that's going to be the most difficult non-conference game that anybody has on their schedule all season long. But then you look down the schedule for the Texas Longhorns. 3 of their final 4 games are on the road at Missouri, at LSU, and at Texas A&M. That's going to be very difficult. Their bye week is kind of early, week 5. So they have 8 straight games to close out the regular season, potentially leading into an SEC championship or a college football playoff appearance. So it's going to be, it's certainly not going to be easy sledding for Texas, and it's going to be a much different path for them this year than it has the last couple of years in the SEC.
I look at Texas and their schedule, and yes, it's challenging, but I also look at how they're built and what we expect from them. I was just glancing at a couple of other right now, just on the surface, I would put Ole Miss's schedule up next to Texas, LSU, and 3 of their last 4 games being Alabama, Texas, at Tennessee, and then at Arkansas to conclude the season.
Yeah.
But if you want to put Texas number 1, okay. I'll slightly disagree, but they would be in my top 5.
Well, how about at number 2, we have the Oklahoma Sooners. So no more easy sledding for the newcomers. But Oklahoma, they've definitely had a tougher last couple of years here in the conference. But you go through and you look, you've got Michigan out of conference. We think that'll be a tougher game than it was last year. You've got Georgia and Texas, the top 2 teams in the conference, as we believe. Those are both games that are going to happen before the midway part of the regular season. So you also throw in Ole Miss and Texas A&M. So right there, you've got 3 games against playoff teams from last year, plus Texas and Michigan, who could be playoff teams this year. So that's going to be really, really difficult for them. They also play Florida on the road, and like Texas, they have a week 5 bye, so they have 8 straight games to end the season as well.
The good news, though, for Oklahoma, no consecutive weeks of travel, no consecutive road games.
That definitely
you get and as you
help.
mentioned, you get the bye week in between Athens and then going and playing in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. No doubt that's going to be tough. All right, number 3, they have Arkansas. We won't spend too much time on Arkansas, but essentially they have 6 games against preseason top 25 teams, so half your schedule against the top 25. That's definitely not going to be easy for them. Number 4, Mississippi State. You have road games against LSU, Texas, and Ole Miss in the back half of your schedule. That's going to be really, really difficult. You also, on top of that, those 3 matchups, you have Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, and Texas all on the schedule as well. So those are 6 really, really difficult games, or 5 really difficult games there for the Bulldogs and Jeff Lebby. And then coming in at number 5 with the 5th hardest schedule in the SEC, they have the Alabama Crimson Tide, which maybe not a huge surprise. They didn't have an easy road last year, and they navigated it pretty well up until the postseason. But you've got back-to-back games against LSU and Vanderbilt late in the season. You've still got Florida State, which we saw how that went last year, but you're hoping for a better result this year. But you're going to have Georgia early on in the season, Texas A&M, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn that we expect to be better as well. So it's not going to be easy sledding for Alabama either. And as Don and some of our other listeners would like to point out, you got to play Kentucky early on, which it's Kentucky, but it's also going to be a first test for one of your new quarterbacks.
College football future right now, betonline.ag, the SEC winner. They got Texas as the favorite, followed by Georgia. Then a two-way tie for second place, LSU at plus 700 and the Alabama Crimson Tide at plus 700.
I'll take it.
Texas A&M and Ole Miss rounding out the top six as Vegas sees it heading into the 2026 season. Heading into the 1 o'clock hour, Dimitri Raveneau sees next.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really, really love golf.
Full Send Golf, 2v2. Me and VOD versus Big John and Kyle. Oh, it feels good to be back on the links with the boys.
Join the party on the golf course.
Back to golf in a big way. Now what, practice? Let's go. Let's hit the range.
I was like, let's go to the range.
We are headed to the golf course. Yo, you want to golf with us?
No.
You don't play golf?
No.
Try. We got to break par.
I'm very, very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Square up.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Andre Berto, two-time world champion. Today's guest, NFL legend, media mogul. What's up? Ocho Cinco. What's good, baby? We call them gym fighters. Yeah. These guys are in the gym, they can probably beat the hell out of any world champion you can think of.
Yeah. When that bell rang, and them lights on, you got 10, 15,000 watching. When I stepped in that ring, I think boxing is becoming great again.
Square up.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Let's go.